May 2024. I found myself staring into a mirror, looking upon a face I did not recognize. After digging through the office I was in, I deduced that I'm apparently a detective by the name of Osian W.D. Whitlock. Not just any detective though, the world's 9th greatest in fact. While that was a strong start, there was still much to uncover about myself and where I came from. On my desk was a folder labeled Nexus, which included dossiers for a large quantity of peculiar individuals. I suspected that was my best lead to discover who I am, and thus I began my investigation. July 2024. I successfully contacted Nexus and its CEO, who gave me an offer. As long as I provided my detective services to the company, I would be allowed entry into the next class of their academia, Class Nebulink. The Nexus lead had been promising thus far, so I saw no reason to decline. On July 22nd, I made my debut on the streaming application AnyLive. September 2024. My efforts toward the investigation have been far more successful than anticipated. Class Nebulink proved to be my best lead yet. Now, exactly 6 weeks after my initial debut, a new chapter of the investigation begins. Oh goodness, hi everyone! Hello, hello! Welcome on in. Oh, it's nice to have you all here. Oh goodness, there's so many of you. How many? Does it give me a number? Oh, it is not giving me a number, but that is a long, long list of people. Yes, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. I see I got raided from Puppy Waffles. Yes, hello. Hi, everyone. There's so many people. I recognize so many, but then some people, I know 60 people are here. Oh goodness. Well, thank you. Oh, right, I should probably do my introduction. Behold, the world's 9th greatest detective, resident investigator of Nexus Class Nebulink. It is I, Osian W.D. Whitlock, at your service. Where's Osian's voice? You don't do this to me. You can hear me, right? Look, I'm already so paranoid about the scuff. You better be able to hear me. You can hear me, right? Please, we can. Thank you. Dolly, I'm remembering. I know you. You're the one who started this. My goodness. Look, I already expect scuff, and so to have you saying that, my goodness, been muted for the last 2 hours. No, okay, that's good. That's good. You got this. Thank you. Thank you. I know I'm doing a very, very traditional corporate, like VTuber debut. And so I know that part of that package is just naturally scuff. You're going to have scuff whenever you're doing you're gonna have scuff whenever you're doing a traditional debut. Now I can hear you, my browser glitch. Oh, you were being serious. You weren't trying to pull a prank on me? Oh, I'm sorry. And here I was like, Dolly, playing pranks. What in the world? Alright, but without further ado, I suppose, let's go ahead and, get on with the debut activities. And that's going to start with talking about my lore a little bit. If you couldn't tell from the little monologue that I recorded for you guys, it wasn't recorded, but the little thing that I said for you guys at the beginning, I am an amnesiac detective who's trying to uncover my own past and my own case. And so I'd like to take a moment to actually share with you guys the current findings of my investigations, Like, what have I discovered about myself? And so, why don't we go ahead and do the most traditional, VTuber debut thing that we can. We're gonna have some slides. Oh, now I'm real professional. I've got the slides and everything. You like the overlay? Thank you, thank you. I love PowerPoint. Here, before we get into this, I need a little bit more liquid courage, I'll call it. Today I'm drinking an Old Smoky Tennessee peanut butter whiskey. So let's go ahead and have a little sip. Oh, what do you mean already? Of course I'm drinking. So yes, you have peanut butter? Yes, it's a peanut butter flavored whiskey. It's so good. It's so, so good. Only classy people drink whiskey. That's right, and I'm the classiest. I knew you're an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. I am not addicted. I can stop whenever I want. Alright, but yes, if you haven't figured this out already, I am Osian Whitlock, the world's 9th greatest detective, and this is my Twitch debut. The following presentation is a compilation of the current findings of my investigations. So, a little bit about me. I already mentioned the title a few times now, the world's 9th greatest detective. My age, I am old enough to warrant respect. Now, people say, like, oh, respect your elders? That's me. I'm the elders that deserve respect. Old enough to warrant respect? Okay, Grandpa. Look, I'll have you know, I think probably my hair's naturally this color, and I'm just very tired. I know it looks like wrinkles and it looks like aged hair. Okay, Boomer, what are you on about? Look, I feel incredibly youthful and spry. Ozzy's going to use the line back in my day. You know what? I'll sneak that into the presentation at some point. How about that? All right. For my birthday, I'm choosing to celebrate my birthday on October 5th. Now, you might be wondering, like, oh, why are you choosing? Why is birthday in quotes? And, you know, on one hand, I literally don't know my birthday, and that's one of the things I haven't discovered yet. But also, October 5th is a sort of birthday to me, I think. That's not too far from now. It's really not. It's actually, you know, about a month away. And so, October 5th, what happened that day, I wonder? You see, I had an isekai attempt on my life. I love riding my bike. I absolutely love riding my bike. It's something that you'll hear me talk about a lot. And one day I was on a real long bike ride, you know, listening to music and everything. And all of a sudden I wasn't riding my bike. Yes, as I mentioned, I had an isekai attempt. I was no longer riding my bike. Instead, I was on the ground, vision hazy, looking over, my bike completely destroyed in front of me. I kind of look up and I see just the front of a car, see someone get out. Hey man, are you okay? Like, get this guy some training wheels. I'll have you know it was his fault. It wasn't my fault. I was in the right. He was in the wrong. So, Truck-kun? Thankfully not. I think if it were Truck-kun, I wouldn't be here today. But it was just Car-kun. BGM sounds so amazing. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'll have you know, actually, I'm the one who wrote the BGM. So anytime you hear any music, well, any BGM during this stream, I'm actually the one who wrote that. You were drunk, weren't you? No, I don't typically do day drinking. This was in the middle of the day. So yes, I got hit by the car, and there's a little bit of a story involved with this, actually. So, the person who hit me, he ended up driving me to the hospital. Thankfully, it wasn't very far away at all. And I remember I sent a picture to friends and family. And I said, hey guys, got hit by a car, lol. And I sent them a picture of myself, like, bloodied and beaten up. Was I wearing a helmet? No, I was not. So I sent that picture to friends and family, and then, if you recall, I had been listening to music, and this was a long bike ride, so my phone died. So my phone died, and that was the last thing that they got from me for hours. So, you know, sat in the hospital. Thankfully, the only confirmed injury from that time is actually that my mouth is slightly stretched open. My mouth is bigger than it's supposed to be, but I like to say that's why I'm such a good yapper. There's more room for the words to fall out. That might even be where I got the scar, potentially. I'm not entirely sure. But yes, so then after the hospital released me, they were like, okay, here's a packet with everything that's wrong with you. There's nothing broken, thankfully. Like, here's some painkillers that you're going to be prescribed. Go home. But my phone was dead, and my... Yeah, so my phone was dead. Sorry, I'm so blown away. There's so many of you in chat. And I didn't have my bike. Obviously, it was destroyed. So, what's the obvious thing to do in this situation, right? Is it to go talk to somebody, maybe ask for a ride home, or see if there's a charger I could borrow, so that way I could contact friends and family? You see, the problem with that is that it would require that I talk to strangers. And so, oh, I see a few people in chat got it. I walked home. So I walked home. It was about a 2-hour walk from the hospital. And so you can just imagine me basically limping home, still have a little bit of blood, my mouth stretched open. I didn't want to talk to strangers, all right? I didn't want to talk to strangers. Is there no Uber? My phone was dead. I'd have to use somebody else's phone to use Uber. Zombie cosplay. Kind of badass. Exactly. Penguin gets it. Penguin gets it. I get social anxiety. Exactly. You understand. You understand. So yes, anyways, all of that transpired on October 5th, and so if that has anything to do with my amnesia, I don't know if it does actually, but if it's trauma-induced amnesia, that's likely the origin of it. And so it's a sort of birthday in that way, you know? It's the only thing that I can consider one at least. But moving on after that tangent, my pronouns. I use he, him pronouns. My model mama is at Meg_Mumu on Twitter. They draw all kinds of handsome boys, so make sure you go support them on Twitter. My fan name is Dimwits. Lovingly, you are all my dimwits. My Oshi mark is a magnifying glass and a puzzle piece. Now, a little bit of hidden lore for you guys. Oh, Taryn. Oh, I see what you're talking about, Taryn. Apologies, I seem to have skipped over a certain little thing that I felt like I didn't need to mention. I didn't need to mention it, but if you want to bring it up, Mr. Shield Song, I am 6'1" with my height, or 184 centimeters, and Taryn, Mr. Shield Song here, claims to be 185 centimeters. He claims to be an inch or a centimeter taller than me. We're the same height. What do you want about? Not only are we the same height, I'm pretty sure I'm taller, actually, because it's those night boots of yours. It's the armored padding. That's what gives you that extra couple centimeters, I'll have you know. My goodness. Over here claiming you're the tallest in Nebulink. It's simply not true. Simply false. I believe you, Taryn is short. Thank you, Kyo. Thank you. But yes, my Oshi mark. I had a little story to tell with this. A little bit of hidden lore for you guys. My Oshi mark was actually different at first. Up until literally the moment that we were able to unprivate our Twitter accounts, my Oshi mark was a magnifying glass and then a question mark. I bet some of the Nebulink members remember that. So yeah, that was originally it. I thought that was pretty nice. And then I remember thinking like the day before, you know, I'm kind of not vibing with the question mark. I kind of want a puzzle piece instead for multiple reasons. The white question mark, yeah, Mia remembers. And it wasn't until like the day before that I decided I wanted the puzzle piece. So I went to go change that. But I changed my account so many times while workshopping what I wanted my page to look like that I ended up being like locked out of like changing my bio and my name and everything. I was like, no, but I want the puzzle piece. I was like, yes, Manon, that's exactly it actually. That's what my Oshi mark would have looked like for anybody who's curious. And so I remember all of Nebulink, we were sitting in a call counting down the minutes to whenever our Twitters could be unprivated. And it was the last minute, and I was like, I'm gonna try one more time. And wouldn't you know, it finally let me. Should have been a crown. No, I mean, I wasn't really known for that. And honestly, as much as I love the whole crown drawings, I don't think that's quite indicative of who I am now. Wow, you can't even spell crown correctly, Manon. I can't even... Look, You really should just stop trying to type. We've discussed the fact that you cannot type. But yes, to finally get through this slide, my goodness, this is gonna be way more than an hour at this rate. So for my tags, to quickly go through these, oh, be quiet, you all, be quiet. It's crown. Do not judge me for my dialect. So my tags, my live tag is Whitlive. So this is for whenever I'm going live, I'm gonna use this, but also if you guys want to talk to me during like Twitter, or if you want to live tweet about my stream, this is gonna be the way to do it. You know, it's quite the versatile tag. My goodness, the chat is just a war. Look, can we all just agree to have peace and get along? Like, that's all I'm asking, really, to just be accepting of every pronunciation except for cram. So my art tag is Composian Sketch. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful, but I want to justify it. And that is, it's a reference to a composite sketch. My goodness, you all. So it's a reference to a composite sketch, which if you don't know, that's whenever like police artists, they'll like go to a witness and say, hey, like what did the suspect look like? And then the person will describe them and, the police artist, they'll draw it. That is what's known as a composite sketch. And so I decided to do a little play on words, and that's how we get Composian Sketch. Oz directly attack me. You act like this is the first time I attack you. And then lastly, for my clips tag, I've got WD and HD. And, just a cute little thing. All right, so moving on. This is gonna take way longer than an hour, I think. Let's have another little drink, why don't we? Before we talk about my likes and dislikes, I'll give you all a moment to gaze upon the glory that is my opinions. And by opinions, I mean facts. What about the NS? All right, so let's go ahead and have a little sip. So, for a few of my likes, I really enjoy tabletop games. I'm a really big fan of D&D in particular, but we'll get to the dislikes. I can already see you all questioning it. Don't worry. I'll justify my dislikes. So, I really enjoy tabletop games, particularly like Dungeons and Dragons. But, I've also dabbled in a few others. I've played like Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, some homebrew systems. They're all pretty great. I also really like strategy games. We are, on the next slide, going to talk about a lot of my favorite games. There's a lot of them, so stay tuned for that. Oh my goodness. Snoopy also likes dislikes strawberries. Thank you, Snoopy. I knew I trusted you. Honestly, you were my favorite character in Peanuts. I'm just gonna say it. Haha. His name is literally Osian. Oh, don't you even start that. Oh, you know what? We'll get to that rant in a moment. We'll get there when we get there. Imagine if an ocean sea creature joins Nexus. Actually, one of my kohai in Class Yume who were just announced is actually a sea creature. I believe Rune Atelier. I'm gonna assume it's pronounced Atelier because that's the French pronunciation of the word. Is an anglerfish. I'm sorry, Rune, if you're here, we cannot be friends. I'm really sorry. Ha! But yes, so for more of my likes, I really enjoy rodents. A lot of my favorite animals are rodents. Particularly, I love. Oh, I see Rudy, one of my co-highs there, noticing. So now you'll be able to tell. Go tell Rune. Spread the word. Rodents, yes, our resident rodent of Class Nebulink is here. Rub, we love rodents. I particularly love chinchillas. Wisteria, you and I, same wavelength. I love chinchillas, so much so that I actually have 2 as pets. So, I've got 4 pets in total. I've got 2 cats and then 2 chinchillas. Rats are best? Exactly. Like, people will look at rats and be like, ew, they got little naked tails. But, like, they're so cute. They're so cute. Also, do naked mole rats count as rodents? If so, like, I really love naked mole rats. They're so cute. And then, continuing on, I love spicy and salty foods. I would much rather have something that is spicy and salty than something that is sweet 100% of the time. Like, you could hand me, like, garlic rye chips versus like the best homemade chocolate chip cookies, 10 out of 10 times, I am choosing the garlic rye chips. You love the background music? Oh, I'm glad, I'm glad. I do plan on releasing it on YouTube on its own. So, if you ever want to jam out to it, there you are. Gotta have the spice. Yeah, actually, I know I want to do a couple of streams related to spice. I have a really, really good spice tolerance. And so, two things I want to do. First of all, I want to do the Hot Ones challenge on stream. I think that could be a lot of fun. There was actually a friend who once upon a time gifted me the Last Dab, which is like the hottest hot sauce on the Hot Ones. And I would purposefully go and get like wings without any sauce and then put the Last Dab on like an order of 12 wings and just eat all of them. Like it's so good. And remind you, that's the hottest hot sauce that they have on the Hot Ones. Or at least it was at the time. And then I also want to do a spicy pepper tier list. I want to do this as a hand cam stream, and I want to like try out a bunch of different like hot peppers like live. And so like we'll get a ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, habanero, like all of those, and then we'll just slap them all on our tier list live. I think that could be really fun. And then a couple more of my likes. I really love whiskey. That's what I'm drinking right now, my peanut butter whiskey. And then finally, for my likes, we've got country and metal music. I mean, I like a lot more kinds of music, but those two in particular, oh, I love country and metal. And then for some of my dislikes, we're here now. We can talk about it. So, favorite metal bands? So I'm a really big fan of, there's a really niche band called Diablo Swing Orchestra. They're my favorite band of all time. They are so good, but so incredibly underrated. I definitely recommend checking out their album Pandora, or what is it? What is it? I think Pandora's Pinata is the name of the album. Dude, it's so good. But yes, dislikes the Osian and sea creatures. We're going to talk about these. Black metal depends. It really depends on who does it. So it's not even a dislike of the Osian and the sea creatures. What's the band called? Diablo Swing Orchestra, DSO. They're so good. So the Osian and sea creatures, I wouldn't even call it a dislike as much as I would a fear. Like, particularly, there are two kinds of sea creatures that I cannot even look at without even ugh. Marine biologist. I'm really sorry, but like get a better career. So your design is so cool. Thank you. The kinds of creatures that I cannot stand are octopuses, or like anything with tentacles for that matter. So that's like, if it's an octopus or a squid, those are disgusting enough on their own. But quite literally, something that is so vile and disgusting that I cannot look at is eels. I do not do eels. They are the most disgusting creatures on the planet, 100%. I remember I was trying to show somebody once how disgusting eels looked, so I looked up a picture. Dr. Fish is crying right now. Actually, Rixie, you are one of my nemesis, one of my many nemesis, for the reason that you are quite literally a robot, so you are technology, and you were made by a fish. Like, come on. Like, it was meant to be. Sorry, Rixie. As much as I miss Rixie, like, as much as I miss you, like, I'm sorry. We cannot associate. So, eels, I was trying to show somebody how disgusting they look, and I looked up pictures of them, and I literally jump scared myself. Like, I had to look away in fear and jump scared myself whenever I looked up pictures of eels. That's how bad it was. Or, that's how bad it is. Thus, the Rixie Whitlock feud begins. Oh, it's been around for a while. Whenever pre-debut, Rixie decided to coin the fact that the WD in my name stands for Worst Detective. Ever since then, you were not made by Dr. Fish? Oh, my bad. Honestly, though, I don't really care to know the facts. I really don't. As a detective, I love knowledge, but I'm not even gonna bother. Like, who cares? All I know is that you're a robot and you got a fish, and that's what matters. So, yes, the ocean, and people will say like, "Oh, how's your name pronounced? Is it Ocean?" No, it is not Ocean. I'm not Ocean Man. Take me by the hand. No, that is not me. I accept Osian. That's my preferred pronunciation. But Osian, Osian, like Osian, all of those are fine. But Ocean, no, we do not do Ocean. Ocean, Snoopy, I trusted you after you said you dislike strawberries. What in the world? How could you betray me in this way? You know what? If you guys are gonna do this, I can't be sober for this. Let's get another drink. Ah, I love my ocean dad, but Yaya, aren't mi esposo? Isn't it weird if I'm your dad? But yes, continuing on. Sorry. So, I also dislike technology, and I think this is just because I'm bad with technology. I'm just really, really bad with it. So anytime anybody says, "Hey, I need somebody to do I need you to do anything tech-based for me," I'm like, "Okay, sure, I'll do that. Show me how. Please. Please teach me." It was hard enough figuring out how to go live today. Isn't one of the third Nexus class in Anglerfish? Don't. I was already talking about Rune. Like, I'm sorry, Rune, but we cannot associate. But then, okay, perhaps my most controversial dislike of all, eating. It is a chore. It takes far too much time, and food is not good enough to warrant all of that time. Look, you're telling me I have to sit down multiple times a day to shove things into my mouth? No, like people will say, "Hey." So, people will say like, "Hey, if you could have a pill, like a vitamin at the start of the day," apparently he's your mom. Yes, I'm actually everybody's mother. If you want to go ahead and start calling me mommy, go for it. Just shove it down your throat in a sec. See, the problem with that is I have trouble swallowing, and so it's like I struggle to eat. Like, unless I'm actively craving a food, I cannot eat it. Food good, cooking good? I know, I cannot do it. Mommy, sorry, mom. And thus my mommy arc begins. Alright, but yes, so people say, like, if you could take a pill at the start of the day that had all the vitamins and nutrients you needed for the day, but you would sacrifice eating for the rest of your life, like, would you do it? Yes. Yes, I would. In a heartbeat, without even hesitating. And then I wanted to highlight a few, like, different consumables that I really, really do not do. Food tastes good. Most of it doesn't. Most does not. Food is... Then again, I think I am by far the pickiest eater that I know. So... It's either I just do not like the way the food tastes, or I can't swallow it because of, like, certain textures or just, like, certain things. Could never give up the feeling of eating steak. That's actually one of the things I cannot eat. Steak, the texture of it. Like, I love steak, but I literally cannot swallow steak. Like, my body will not let me. And then I'm also, another thing is I'm egg intolerant. I literally cannot eat eggs without imploding. I don't know if you guys have seen some of my tweets, but I cannot eat eggs. Or another combination is, like, specifically broccoli and cheese together. I love broccoli, I love cheese. If I eat them together, I am going to implode. I do not know why. Without fail. But yes, to probably want to get that checked out by a doctor. I mean, I already know that I'm egg intolerant. That's a thing that people have. Can you eat mutton? Mutton is actually my favorite meat. I love mutton. I love me some good mutton. God invented you later in this part. Can't eat most kinds of eggs either. Have you tried quail eggs by any chance? I have not. You know what? Tell you what, I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. I will try that out because I love eggs a lot of the time, actually. I literally cannot eat them. So I'm going to write out quail eggs as something that I need to check out. Boop. It is written down. I love how chat split between concern and intrigue. Yeah, that's just the constant state of my chat. But honestly, I am proud of the fact that people have to ask me, how are you alive? How do you function? How do you have joy in life? The fact that people have to ask me that question means I'm doing something right, in my opinion. It's content. It's content. But yes, so strawberries. Strawberries are disgusting. They're vile. I cannot stand them. The seeds on the outside, that texture is just so disgusting. And then the moment you bite into them and they're all like prickly on your tongue, nope, cannot do that. Pineapples as well, they're just, they're like sweet in the worst way possible. And beer, oh, I cannot stand beer. Well, okay, if it's a good beer, like the only beer I've ever tried that I enjoyed is a Lindemann's Cherry Lambic. Like, Lambics are really, really good. I love, like, sour beers, but, like, most of what people have is awful. And I cannot stand it when people, like, try, like, Steiner or, like, no, not Steiner, Shiner. Shiner or Budweiser or Man, I cannot speak. Bud Light or Budweiser. And they'll be like, oh, man, alcohol's just not really for me. I don't like it. It's like, man, you haven't tried good alcohol. If you're trying beer, like, no, just wrong. And then I wanted to save this one for last. Yogurt. I told this story on my, or like at my Annie Live debut, but I wanted to tell it again. I have a little bit of a story of why I do not do yogurt. You see, I do have an older brother. We call him Brosian, right? So Brosian, he works a job that requires him to go into like people's houses. And he works a job that requires him to like go into people's houses. And Brosian? No, it's Brosian. Brosian, not Brosian, Snoopy. And one time he was working at somebody's house and they decided to randomly tip him over 100 cups of yogurt. Like over 100 cups of Danimal strawberry banana yogurt. And, you know, so Brosian decides to bring it home. And then he's like, okay, like, let's enjoy our yogurt. Cool, that's awesome. We look at the expiration date. It expires in a month. And so, Brosian and I, we made a little bit of a pact. We said, we are going to eat all of this yogurt before it expires in a month. And we did the math, and we had to have it for like multiple times a day. Like, I think we each had to have like 4 or 5 a day or something like that. And then this motherfucker gives up on like day 3. But I am a man of commitment. I'm a man of determination. If I put my mind to something, I am the most stubborn motherfucker you will ever meet. And so I said, I'm not letting this yogurt expire. And make just all the smoothies. You see, you'd think that I would have been smart enough to have it like any other way than just yogurt. But no, I just raw dogged it. You know, I went in without protection. So I had like almost 10 cups of yogurt daily for a month. And I started bringing it around everywhere. I was like, oh yeah, you know, guys, hi friends, hi D&D session. Could I interest you in some yogurt during these trying times? Nobody wanted it because guess what? It's ass. It's bad. And so I was left alone with the burden of eating all of this yogurt. And I still remember on that last day, literally 15 minutes before it was going to expire, I was there with exactly 10 cups of yogurt. And I said, I am not letting this expire. I opened them all up and I grabbed a spoon and I went to town. And across 5 minutes, I ate 10 cups of strawberry banana Danimals yogurt. That is 1 cup of yogurt every 30 seconds for 5 minutes straight. And so, I can't really do yogurt anymore. It's just, nope. It is vile. Like, I get nauseous. I was nauseous by the end of that. gonna imagine people raw dogging Danimals now every time I eat yogurt. So yes, that's why yogurt is one of my dislikes. But now, anyway, now that we're like, I don't know, 20 minutes behind schedule on the debut, why don't we go to the next slide? How am I not dead? I told you. People ask me that question gives me the greatest pleasure in life. Thank you. Thank you, UTA. You made it off the dislikes list. Sorry, this is actually identical to my dislikes list on the Nexus website, except for Mia, because you can see I didn't have enough room. I didn't want to make the font smaller. You would have made it on here. So next up, we're finally talking about some of my favorite games. I really struggled to narrow this list down, and so I just put basically anything that I absolutely love. Oh, we got somebody who knows For the King? Hell yeah. A Whomping Wampus? I assume you're Whomping Wampus on any live. I'm really glad we've got someone of culture. Hey, Snoopy, you know For the King as well? For the King 2 stream? I actually haven't played For the King 2 yet, and so I'm really excited for that. Here, let's just go down the list. There's a lot to talk about. So Fire Emblem. It's a series that is very near and dear to my heart. I love Fire Emblem. Well, some of the Fire Emblems, and I hate Fire Emblem. Any good Fire Emblem fan knows that the only people who hate Fire Emblem more than Smash Brothers fans are Fire Emblem fans. So, I love Fire Emblem. Noe, one of my co-highs likes Fire Emblem. Noe, we need to talk. We need to talk now. I'm sliding into your DMs literally the second after I end stream. Yukiko Fire Emblem. Yukiko, you don't have the right to talk about Fire Emblem because you're an Edelgard fan. I'm sorry, but nope. You obviously don't have good Fire Emblem tastes. Next, you're gonna say that Fire Emblem Fates is a good game. So next, we've got Elder Scrolls. I love the Elder Scrolls series. My first one in the franchise was Oblivion, and that is always going to be my favorite. I love Oblivion. Morrowind is just a little bit too number crunchy for me, and Skyrim, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's just not enough, like the system is very shallow, and there's not enough like replayability to it. Like you can do everything in one run, and you can do any build in the same run. Next up, we've got the Total War franchise. I love strategy games, and so things like Medieval 2, Rome 2, I love Total War, Morrowind superior. Okay, like I can understand during, like to a certain audience, Morrowind would definitely be better, but I just like the middle ground of Oblivion and Skyrim. I also just like the atmosphere of Oblivion the most, you know? Next up, Civilization 6. I saw some people mentioning it. I've played multiple of the Civilization games. Your taste is impeccable. I'm well aware. Thank you. This is actually just a list of the best games of all time. It's true. We gotta play some games sometime, please. And I still need you to show me Pal World, Kenzo. I've never played it. I've never even seen gameplay of it, and so I need to see it. Shaden Hall? No, actually, honestly, out of the Oblivion cities, I'm more of an Anvil fan. That's always gonna be my favorite. Civ 6 is your favorite? Look, I know there's definitely differences. I'm excited to see what they do with... Like, I'm excited to see what they do with Civ 7, at least. Let's see Sonic Adventure 2 on here. See, my problem with Sonic Adventure 2 is that I tried to do all of the racing in that game, and that drove me insane. Like, a little racing minigame? Where's my gaming session? Huh? I'm sorry, Trix. I'm sorry. We'll get to it. Civ 7, I hope will be dope. Yeah, I've been keeping, like, tabs on, like, all the stuff for it. Dude, I screamed like a little girl whenever I saw that trailer. And I was like, oh, is this Civ 6? Is this, or not Civ 6, is this Civ 7? Is this Civ 7? Please. And whenever they showed that name, I was like, yeah, woo! Dude, I was literally fangirling so hard. But next up, Viva Pinata. I love this game so much. I still play it at times. I'd love to stream it at some point. I know that Yaya, Izia Kagamiya, he and I were talking about doing a Viva Pinata stream at some point, so we'll see about getting that set up. Civ 6 peaks the mic, understandable. Don't worry, the mic will probably get peaked a few more times. I'm sorry, you all. Next up, Banjo-Kazooie. If I had to pick a favorite game, Banjo-Kazooie would definitely be in the running. come over and play Banjo-Kazooie with me? Please, I will 100% play Banjo-Kazooie with you. You already know I will. Like, I've only played it in its entirety once, but I've started it plenty of other times. But the main thing I love about it is just the soundtrack. Oh, Grant Kirkhope, you beautiful man, you beautiful mind. Next up, we've got Bug Snacks. I love Bug Snacks. It's such a fun, little game. I remember playing through it for the first time with friends. I adored it. Favorite Bug Snacks character? It's been a bit, so I don't exactly remember the exact names of everybody. But I think my favorite would honestly be like the photographer girl. I don't remember. I think like Bethica or something like that is her name. I remember she talks like this. She's got like the Valley Girl voice. Like, I don't know. I've got like just such a weak spot in my heart, such a vulnerability for Valley Girl accents. But yes, oh my goodness. Yeah, this stream was supposed to be an hour, by the way. We're going on 2 hours. I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to keep you all here for this long, but my goodness. See, Slime Rancher, what's your favorite slime? I really like the phosphor slimes. That's one that was always really close to my heart. Oh goodness, I'd have to like look up all the slimes to see which one was my favorite. So we've got Totally Accurate Battle Simulators, one of my favorites. I really want to do a stream at some point where I go into the unit builder of tabs and like try to make all the Nexus members. I think that could be a lot of fun. I like just playing around in there. And then like once we make all the Nexus members, just like having us all like fight one another, that could be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do like class Genesis versus class Nebulink. That could be, that could certainly be a show. Next, we got Stellaris. I love me Space Genocide Simulator. Like Space Genocide Simulator is so much fun. I probably will never stream Stellaris for you guys, but know that I adore that game. You know I adore that game because I have all of the DLCs. I've spent the hundreds of dollars worth of DLC on that game. Like, you know, you're in like the, oh, I'm gonna make a new empire, and look, and you're like, oh man, look at all of these locked things on the side of the screen. I have all of them. For the King, I saw some people actually recognize it. It's a beautiful game, very incredibly underrated. It's like a tabletop roguelike. It's so good. You clipped me? Oh, thank you. We love clippers. We love clippers. And by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but I meant to. Anybody who ever clips my streams, please use the hashtag WDNHD so that way I can shout you out and like, you know, give you the support, because clippers, you guys are like the gears of the VTuber industry just in its entirety. Like, we love you guys. Same with for Nexus specifically, restreamers. You guys are legends. Keep it up. We love our restreamers. So waiting for the King 2 to come to console. I didn't even know it wasn't on console yet. But I haven't played it yet. I remember I was actually following the development of For the King 2. But, you know, I didn't get super far into it. I played 15 minutes because I was playing with a friend. We were like, okay, actually it's really late. We'll play this another time. And then I never returned to it. And so maybe I could convince some of my Nexans to buy the game and try it with me. Yeah, Slime Rancher, I mentioned that before. I played Slime Rancher 2 somewhat recently, but it's actually been a while since I played the original Slime Rancher. So honestly, maybe I'll stream that at some point. We've got Valheim as well. Oh, Valheim, my beloved. See, everyone's talking about like, oh, the Nexus Minecraft SMP, that's out now. What about the Valheim SMP? Like, ooh? So, I might see about getting that started. I think that could be a lot of fun. Like, for any fellow Nexans here, I want to traverse the Mistlands with you guys, you know? Comfy games? Yes, I love comfy games. I'm not a big fan of, like, FPS games or, like, really action-heavy games. You can tell I've got, like, a lot of strategy simulation games, like, just comfy games on here. Though, speaking of FPS games, one of the very few exceptions is Gunfire Reborn. I love me some Gunfire. It's another like hidden gem in my opinion. It is a first-person shooter roguelike that is phenomenal. Please go check out roguelike. Please go check out Gunfire. Then finally, of course, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, okay. So Mia goes, Gunfire Reborn mentioned, right? In her little Miss Finnemore voice she does. So I still remember, this is one of the reasons why Mia and I call each other twins. Because we were already discovering each other, discovering like quite a lot about each other that we had in common leading into like debut. And then I remember I was just casually streaming Gunfire Reborn to some of the other like Nebulings, right? And Mia goes in chat, like she's not even in the VC, and she goes, "Is that the greatest game of all time that I see y'all streaming?" And so, we quickly realized not only were we both big fans of this really niche like FPS game, like FPS roguelike game, but we mained the exact same character and played the game in the exact same suboptimal way. Like, to a T. And we were like, oh, you use that weapon? I use that weapon. You use those, like, items in the game? I use those items in the game. Like, it was wild. Because it's like, out of everyone who had ever met who, like, everyone who had ever met who played that game, nobody had ever played it in the exact same way I did. Besties for real? No, we're worst enemies. She's, like, quite literally, she is my evil British twin. But yeah, lastly, Dungeons & Dragons. I've already mentioned tabletop games once, and I'm gonna mention again, I love tabletop games. There's just no greater joy than getting around the table with all of your, all your friends, whether it be the physical table or a virtual tabletop. Enemy survival arc. And so, like, I love D&D. It's so good. I cannot talk about it enough, and I'm going to continue. Thoughts on Pathfinder? So I haven't dabbled too much into Pathfinder. I have been reading the 2E rulebook. I'm probably not going to run it on... I'm probably not going to run it on stream, but for my personal group, I imagine I might make the switch to Pathfinder. Next is D&D. You guys are getting ahead of me. Now hold on. So let's go ahead and move to the next slide. Some of my favorite anime, as well as my hobbies, I decided to put them on the same screen. So I'm not actually much of an avid anime watcher. That's, like, I usually just watch whatever, like, people recommend to me and what people talk about as being pretty good. That said, my one recommendation to all of you here today, to all of you, watch Katanagatari. Please watch Katanagatari. It is one of the best... No, actually, Katanagatari was meant... Be quiet, Taryn. I bet you haven't even watched it. Please. Katanagatari, every single person who I've ever, like, gotten to watch that show has said it is one of the best shows they've ever seen. It is phenomenal. It's only 12 episodes, but each episode's about 50 minutes long. And it's so good. So, like, I mean, there's not really a great way to legally watch it. I mean, VPNs. All I'm gonna say is, you'll find a way. Katanagatari is the best show I've ever watched. Thank you, Trix. This is why you're a mod. Look, that's the way you become a moderator in my streams, actually. It's by watching Katanagatari. Except for Mia. Mia doesn't get the privilege. Actually, Mia, I'll make you a mod if you want. Anyways, yes, I love Evangelion as well. Kaguya-sama, Konosuba, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like, they're all very, very, very great. And then, let's talk about RWBY a little bit. I have been a fan of Rooster Teeth, or rather, I suppose the correct term is I was a fan of Rooster Teeth, since, back in Red vs. Blue Season 6? So I was watching Rooster Teeth for a very, very long time. I was there before RWBY was even announced. And then, I remember them announcing it, and I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Like, that's awesome. Fell off after season 3. Yeah, no, or they're not seasons or volumes. Volume 4 RWBY is definitely, leaves a lot of to be desired, to say the least. It's not that great. I'm gonna be real with you. We had great 3 seasons, that's it. I would argue, more of them are great. Are they perfect? No. The show definitely has flaws, but there's definitely a lot to love about it as well. But yeah, so here, I said I was gonna incorporate this. Back in my day, Ruby was just a young old thing, Now it's got like what, 9 volumes? We've gone through so much. I know I want to do some like streams talking about Ruby, as well as something I want to do is like a specific karaoke stream only doing Ruby music. Oh, Ruby music. Casey Lee Williams, like you're a legend. We love you. If I ever get noticed by Casey Lee Williams on Twitter, I'm gonna freak out. You guys have no idea. And actually, my love of Ruby goes so far. I have a replica of Crescent Rose, Ruby's weapon, like on my wall, literally hanging on my wall in my office. Oh, 07? Okay, well, I mean, at least Ruby, it's now been picked up by Viz Media, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it. Time to clip that and send it to... No! No, 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 no. Wait. Of the gun size, give me. Maybe I'll post a picture of it after stream, we'll see. But now, let's talk about my hobbies. I was supposed to be wrapping up stream by now. Can you guys believe that? I'm just having so much fun yapping at you guys. There's a reason I'm called the Yap God of Nebulink. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and talk about the first of my hobbies. And that's just yapping and ranting. Oh, I love just going off. It's like, I don't like the sound of my own voice. I don't think anybody does, but I love using it. We love hearing you. Yeah, well, I'm really glad because I love doing it. It's a symbiotic relationship, really. And then I also enjoy hiking, just like losing myself in the wilderness. You love my voice? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And then biking is so much fun. I love going on really like long late night bike rides. It's really great, especially if I'm like in VC with somebody, or maybe if I'm like listening to video essays. I'm not just like sitting there in front of my computer. No, I'm out in the street just like riding on different trails. We need to decide the Yap God of Nebulink by a Yap Off. I'm sorry, I've already won it. Nobody in Nebulink can match up. This is a formal challenge. I want to see anybody in Nebulink compete with me. Step forth, little ones. Next up, playing Crusader Kings 3. Now you might be like, oh, why? Why is this not one of your favorite games if it's one of your main hobbies? I hate that game. Oh, I hate that game with a passion. You guys, you have no idea how much that game pisses me off. I like going on late night bike rides unrelated, don't know how I got hit by a car. I'll have you know, the car, like the Isekai incident, that was in the middle of the day. There was no excuse for that person not seeing me. But yeah, so Crusader Kings 3 is a fantastic game, but the problem is that every single time I play it, I literally play it until I rage quit. It might be in 1 hour, it might be 14 hours. I've done that before, but no matter what, I'm going to have the time of my life, and then eventually it will end with me doing massive bludgeoning damage to my desk. Just like, like 100% of the time. So I probably won't ever stream it just for that reason, just to like spare you guys. Love-hate relationship with CK3 is normal. It really is. And then some of my other hobbies, I love singing, I love drinking, which is why doing it now. Let's go ahead and take another sip of my peanut butter whiskey I've got here. And then I really enjoy spending time with my pets, my two cats and 2 chinchillas. And lastly, hoarding math rocks. Now you might be wondering, what are math rocks? Math rocks, that's what I like to call dice. I am a through and through dice goblin. I've quite literally got hundreds, and this is not exaggeration, hundreds of dollars worth of dice. Like, oh, hold on. I bet is my I literally have a special container that I carry all of my dice around in. Is it in my office? No, I don't think it is. One of these days, I'll bring my dice in here and I'll like shake it around. You'll be able to just hear all of the dice. Actually, you know what? If there were ever a time to use the screen, why not now? I'm gonna go grab it actually. We're gonna have a quick intermission. So give me just a moment. I'm gonna go grab my dice. All right, I'm back. So ready for this? I'm gonna give this little container of mine a shake. Oh, is it not picking up? Hold on, maybe I have to shake it really, really hard. I think it picked up a little bit. Were you guys able to hear that? Scatter? Why are you guys scattering? Hold on, let me back read. The streamer's gone. You're able to hear it a little? Maybe, no, I probably shouldn't post it. Dice ASMR? No, it would not be ASMR. I mean, I could, nah, I'm not gonna turn off the noise suppression on my mic. That's too risky. Just, maybe I'll do like a voice tweet about it. How about that? After the stream, I'll do a little voice tweet and see if that picks up. Here, let's put this down. Alright, so continuing on, let's talk about some of my goals. So, first of all, I would like to release some covers and original songs someday. I love singing. And so, I want to be able to share that with you guys, share my passion and maybe put out some good content. Next up, I would like to befriend and interview everyone in Nexus. I actually feel like I've done a pretty good job with this so far. I've gotten to know a lot of the people who are in Nexus. I talked to a lot of them, including the Kohais. Any Kohais who are here, please talk to me. So, my DMs are always open, basically to anybody. If you ever want to chat, I'm down. And especially anybody in Nexus, I love just meeting all of you, getting to know all of you. And then eventually, as part of my investigations, I want to do some interviews and get to know some of the Nexans on stream at a more personal level, right? And those streams will be on Twitch. Originally, I had intended to do them on AniLive, but I've decided that those would be better for Twitch content. So yes, eventually you can expect some Nexus interviews. Next up, I'd like to learn Japanese. Nihongo Jozu. My pronunciation is garbage. Oh, it's so bad. You guys have no idea. And it seems like every single time I have to cancel a stream, it's a Duolingo stream. Every single time. I don't know why. Next, I'd like to create a network of detective VTubers. I've noticed that there's quite a bit out there. And I want to get to know them as well. I think it'd be fun if we could do some large collabs with one another. Maybe like a detective game show or play some detective themed board games. Who knows what it'll be, but I want to get to know all of them. Now, I've collected a few. I already have a few people who are down, actually. And in fact, my plan was after my Twitch debut is whenever I was going to start reaching out to some of the murder mystery. That is a fantastic idea, Charlie. Go for Ame? I wish. Oh, I wish that I could interact with Charlie. Or not Charlie, wow. I have Charlie on the mind with Ame. Quick, Osian, what is the correct number of current Nexans? So let's see. There would be, 25 in... Yeah, 25 in Genesis. And then 16 in... I cannot math. Oh, I cannot math. Hold on. I'm not very good at the whole math thing, so let's see. 25 plus 16 plus 8 was so 49, I believe. Yeah, 25 plus 16 plus 8. ETA's got it. What are your thoughts on Inspector Gadget since he's a detective and also technology? So I will say Inspector Gadget is one of the people who I consider to be one of the top, top 8 detectives. He's he did math. That's cheating. I wasn't just gonna guess. I'm a man of facts. Of course, I was gonna do the math. I can't do math yet. Neither can I. My phone did math. That was pretty awesome. But yes, point is, I'm going to start interacting with some detective VTubers after today. That's the plan. Next up, become a well-known dungeon master. So I'd like to define what it means to me to become a well-known dungeon master. I don't want it to just be like people are looking at my streams of D&D and be like, oh wow, that guy's pretty good. So you know how in a bunch of different video essays regarding D&D, you'll always have like Matt Mercer or Brennan Lee Mulligan just there going like in the thumbnail. I want that to be me. I will consider myself a well-known dungeon master once I am on the thumbnail of a video essay about D&D. Oz earlier, I don't care about I never said I was consistent. But yes, I want to be on a video essay thumbnail on YouTube. That's it. Like, how to keep your players engaged. It's like, and then, that's gonna be me someday. And then lastly, of my goals, I'd like to just give back to this incredible community, right? Like, you guys are so wonderful. The reason why I love VTubing and VTubers so much, it's not just because the streams are so much fun and I like seeing the content, but it's because like the community that surrounds VTubing is just so wonderful and welcoming. It, I think, really gives people a place to belong. And I know it certainly gave me a place to belong in a time that I really needed it. And I really want to be able to like return the favor someday, right? And so to be able to like give people a community to feel like they belong to, that's honestly my best, like my greatest goal of all. But continuing on, content to expect. I'd like to do a variety of different kinds of games. Really just, I'll play whatever you guys want me to. Every now and again, I'll mix in some of the games that I'd like to play personally, but for the most part, if you want me to play a game, and if there's enough people who are interested in it, I'll probably play it. I've already mentioned the Nexus interviews. Next up, TTRPGs. Nexus D&D is real. I can confirm the Nexus D&D is being worked on. We've already got a team of people who are, we're behind the scenes right now, but we are working on Nexus D&D. It is coming. And yes, I am working with Kenzo on it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Kenzo's doing the Nexus D&D. It's not, it's both of us, right? And so don't worry, we're gonna make it real. Next up, we've got karaoke. I love karaoke. Then Zatsudan, so those are just chatting streams. And then lastly, drinking streams, of course, and obviously everything above, except for probably the interviews, I'll also do some drinking for. So why don't we go ahead and drink to that, eh? Our hardworking grandpas. Well, I will say, it's not just us working on it, and Manon, you would know. You're part of the team. What do you want about? Let's give some credit to you as well. So then, our next slide. I'd like to go ahead and go over my schedule for the next week. Here, let's see if I can make that face. Oh man, my tracking here is so much better than any live. It's so much better. So, obviously, you're already attending Detective Debut. He's talking. That's actually, that was why I tried to make the face in the first place. Whenever I took that picture, it was me trying to pock face. But yeah, so tomorrow, I'd like to preface this with saying that all of the times are in Central Standard Time. So for Eastern time, folks, that's going to be 1 hour behind you guys, and for Pacific, it's 2 hours ahead. So at 7 p.m. CST, I'm going to be playing a little game called Duck Detective: The Secret Salami. That's going to happen tomorrow. It's a little game that Mia recommended. I don't know anything about it, but I've heard good things. And that takes about 2 hours to beat. After we beat that, I'm going to go ahead and do a just chatting stream. It's going to be the same stream on Twitch, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up on AnyLive as well. And so we're going to go ahead and, do some chatting for about an hour or two. And then, don't know my time zone, but apparently I'm a day ahead of you. Oh, so is it Tuesday for you right now? Because yes, it is late Monday evening right now for me. But yes, on Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about all of my different nebulings and see how I would play them as D&D builds. I've done this, 4 times already? And so next time we've got, I think 5 more Nebulink members to talk about? We'll probably do only like 2 or 3. 6 a.m. Tuesday. Oh, well, good morning, Star. Good morning. So yes, Nebulink D&D, that's on AnyLive. And then later that evening, Minecraft. So you guys will actually be able to see me play Minecraft instead of just hear the sound effects on AnyLive. Then on Thursday, you guys will be able to see me finish up drawing the Class Genesis members of Nexus. So I'll actually, do a drawing stream. You'll be able to see them come to life, right? You'll be able to see the prodigal Picasso do his work. Which, if you haven't seen, my art style is rather unique, we'll call it. But hopefully you guys will still enjoy it. Then on Friday, we're going to be doing a drunk karaoke concert. It's a nice little stinger to the work weekend of our, beginning of Twitch. And then on Saturday at noon, we're going to do a Just Chatting stream exclusive to AnyLive. And then later that evening, we're going to do It Takes Two with Miss Mia Finnemore. I'm sure you guys can tell by watching this stream, but we've got a dynamic going on, we've got some chemistry. And by chemistry, I mean we're like baking soda and vinegar, right? So hopefully that'll be a lot of fun for you guys. Though I will say, wasn't told about this. Oh, be quiet, Mia. You're literally lying. Look at her. Mia's over here lying. I asked her about it. I was like, hey, you want to do this? My goodness. But on that Saturday as well, I'm not going to confirm anything quite yet, but it's actually possible I do a 3rd stream. I'm not going to confirm it. It's still being worked out, but there might be a 3rd stream. And then Sundays, I typically don't stream on Sundays. So, there's the end of our slides. Now, something that I keep teasing you guys about is, one of my hobbies is singing, and I'm gonna do karaoke streams, and I'm doing one this Friday. And I figure, why should I keep blueballing you guys, right? So I figure, why not a little preview? Oh, ha! Oh goodness, there we are. So there's Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. Fantastic artist. I love singing his songs. Oh, thank you all. Thank you. You killed it. Thank you. Now, I've noticed we've spent quite a while just kind of staring at one another, and a lot of you have seen my model, but I've never gotten the chance to do a full, proper model showcase. Encore. Don't worry, you'll have the encore on Friday. So, if you want to hear more, at 7 p.m. CST on Friday, we're going to be doing a little bit of drinking along with it. Let's go ahead and get another drink right now real quick, why don't we? So, yeah, I'll see you all there for drunk karaoke and the other streams, of course. But yes, we've been staring so much at each other, and you've seen my model, but I haven't had a chance to do a proper model showcase. So, why don't we go ahead and do that real quick, eh? So give me just a moment to get set up. there we are. We are set up for the model showcase. And you can see my Model Mama's handle, their Twitter handle, is at the top left of the stream if you want to go ahead and support them. Make all kinds of handsome boys in suits. Make sure you go follow them if you want to see some more fantastic art. But for now, why don't we go ahead and start by... Oh, looking at my kicks? Oh, look at the polish on these babies. My goodness. You see that? That is class. That is refined. They're shining. They make the little click clack whenever I'm walking on hard surfaces. Oh, it's nice. Heels add 1 inch? No, that's not how it works. If they're not heels, I'm exactly 184. G for free? Feet pics, let's go! In my folder you go. We're a VTuber feet connoisseur. If you are watching, there you are. Click clack sound is so good. Exactly. That's exactly why I wear these shoes. Add VTuber feet connoisseur. Thank you, Rixie. Thank you. So they can go ahead and add this to their collection. But how about we go ahead and start, viewing a little bit more. Get the bottom of my jacket, eh? The ASMR window. And then... Oh, we can see a couple things to highlight here. We've got my beautiful, wonderful cane. Let's go ahead and highlight this. Look at that beautiful handle and that cane. Oh, it is so nice. This isn't, I'll have you know, this isn't for helping my limp. I don't have a limp or anything. I'm not that old. Rather, it's for 2 reasons. One, style, of course. I mean, come on, it's cool. It's cool. But secondly, it's for whacking you hooligans whenever you get up to no good, your tomfoolery, your shenanigans. You see other people are like, oh, get off my lawn. No, that's not me. I'm straight to violence. So you better not be up to any shenanigans. Yes, whenever I bonk people, it's not with the hammer, it's with the cane. And then we've also got, of course, my beautiful designer bag here. It's so lovely. Feels incredibly comfortable to hold my shoulder. And it's full of all kinds of confidential detective files that I really should not be bringing around with me. But it's okay because I don't misplace things ever, right? I'm very good at keeping track of all of my belongings. And so if something goes in this bag, I'm always going to know where it is. So it doesn't matter if I have any confidential files. Let's go ahead and scroll up. Now we've got, a couple more things to highlight. We've got my magnifying glass. And what is a detective without their magnifying glass, eh? Though a little bit of lore that you might not know, I'm a glasses wearer myself, but you'll notice that I typically don't wear my glasses whenever I'm doing my investigations. That's because, they might get too dirty, or they're too easy to lose, there's all kinds of issues. And so my magnifying glass that I carry around is actually a prescription lens as well. So if you ever see me using it to inspect something that really doesn't seem like it needs to be inspected, it's probably just because I can't really look at it well enough. And then, of course, I'd like to highlight this little brooch of mine. You see, I was already wearing this whenever I came to, back in the day, whenever I woke up from my amnesia. And I only ever take it off whenever I'm changing and whenever I am, doing things that don't require me to be dressed. And for some reason, I always feel like I'm just not as good of a detective whenever I'm wearing this, right? I feel kind of incomplete. I don't really know why, though. I just know that this is very important to me, and I can't quite place why. Bruce comes off during old man sex. I will not confirm nor deny this. Kenzo could. Anyways. There we are. Look at my beautiful, handsome face. I know I've got quite sharp, stunning eyes. And my scar, oh, it's rather handsome, isn't it? And then, oh, the beard, yes. Actually, I'd like to take a moment to shill for Dollar Shave Club and their beautiful shave butter. I use it daily in order to make sure that I keep a nice, clean shave. It's wonderful. So make sure if you need a shave, go support Dollar Shave Club. I'm not sponsored. I just actually use them. And then, oh, where's my hat? Oh no, did I misplace it? Oh goodness. No. No, I told you, I don't misplace anything. You mean he's not bald? I am not bald. I am capable of taking off my thinking cap. It's true. So here we are. You've got the official hatless reveal. Then while we're, up close and personal, why don't we go ahead and talk a little bit about my tracking and my toggles. So, I was Dr. Fish typing. Maybe Dr. Fish and I need to have a chat. Hmm. So, I do have a few toggles. Actually, for the most part, my tracking is pretty good about like showing my exact emotions. Like if I'm happy, like I can look happy whenever I'm happy. All of it's pretty good. I particularly love my eyebrows because like I've got really expressive eyebrows normally, and I'm so glad that that's where most of my expression comes from with my, whenever I'm here streaming in front of you guys. It's wonderful. You shirtless toggle? Maybe someday. Maybe someday. But I do have a few toggles. First of all, you already know I love ranting. So, whenever I'm ranting or I'm just otherwise angry, I've got my angry toggle. Grrr. Whenever I need to talk about Fire Emblem Fates. Grrr. So, I've got my angry toggle here. I've got another toggle for. So it's either one of two things. I haven't decided exactly what it is. It's either if I'm really smug and I say perhaps something unsay so, or do a little pun. But I've got my. Oh no, wrong toggle. Ah. I can. I can look. To me, it's real smug. But it could also just be constipated I as well. So who knows? Maybe I'm just constipated. So it's one of the two. Then lastly, I've only got a few toggles. Got my favorite toggle of all, and that is it's one that a lot of you would probably recognize. I use it for a lot of my thumbnails, but I've got I've got the eyebrow raise. I like to imagine every single time I do the eyebrow raise, just vine boom, just boom. Can someone please make an edit of that? That would be amazing. The smolder. The smolder. No, that's definitely my favorite toggle of all. But of course, if I ever need to go, get my hat, I can go do that. So let's go grab that. So I can go grab my hat pretty easily if I ever need to. But I want to take it off for the rest of the stream. So we're going to go. Bup, 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 bup. And there we are. And I want to go ahead and give you all maybe a few full body shots. So here's the full model if you want to see it. Do a little bit of moving around. And now I can start using my hatless toggles for Annie Live thumbnails. Fun. So yeah, hopefully you guys, find me as handsome as I do. I promise I'm not a narcissist. Bro, it's actually majestic. See, you understand my beauty. So now let's go ahead and take a quick intermission once again. And we're going to go back to my office room. So give me just a moment, you all. All right, and we are back. We should collect. Oh, star, thank you. Yes, so we're back, and I know we saw a little bit earlier, but this is my office. Welcome on in. You can see I'm very, very organized. I've got myself my drinks over there on the cabinet. I've got some particular files. I know what all the files on the floor are, so it is organized. It just doesn't look good. And probably, don't look too closely at the, don't look too closely at the board back there. Don't mind that. It's just, a case I'm working on. Cool office, well, thank you, thank you. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do credits here. I don't have a credits slide or anything, but that's because there's really not much of a need. Everything that you see, besides the model, of course, everything that you see in here was either done by myself or one of my IRL friends. So we put this all together by ourselves. And it's actually the same person who did my model, or not my model, my logo. The same person who did my logo is the same person who prepared the background here, as well as the curtains for my scenes. Everything else was done by me, so I did the stream overlays, I did the screens, I did the BGM, all the different editions of it. So yeah, that's why I didn't really feel much of a need for any credits. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys seem to be enjoying what you're seeing. And believe it or not, that's actually all of the content that I've planned for today. But if we want to just chat for a little bit, for a few minutes, if you guys have any particular questions that you want to, ask, or any comments that you want to say, now would be the best time. Credit me, yeah, exactly. Look, I've been working my ass off. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the Nebulings can confirm. Best stream on Twitch. Oh, I'm flattered. I'm flattered. I'm almost done with my peanut butter whiskey here. You've got a question, Star? Feel free to ask ahead. Congrats on Twitch debut. Thank you, thank you. Am I gonna do a Q&A? I mean, that's basically what right now is. I'll stick around as long as people want to ask questions. How'd I sleep? So actually, I really struggled to sleep last night. I decided to throw on Zootopia because I typically like to fall asleep to movies. And I ended up watching the entirety of Zootopia. And 2 hours later, there I was in bed crying. I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. So then I threw on Brother Bear, which I fell asleep during. I made some like melatonin tea, and that put me to sleep. Thank you, everybody who's congratulating me for the debut and saying I did amazing. Thank you, thank you. Did you know Zootopia is an allegory for the war on drugs? I could definitely see that. That makes a lot of sense. What do you think of the game Supermarket Simulator? I believe it was actually Triggs, one of my mods here, which, by the way, make sure you go support her on Twitch as well. She's quite lovely. I believe she was telling me about Supermarket Simulator. I could not play it, though, because I'd have too many flashbacks. Why won't I stream Stellaris? I just feel like it's not a very, stream-friendly game, if that makes sense. There are certain games that I want to stream, but I just don't know if it's appropriate. I want to go through all the Witcher games on stream, and I don't know, because I know they're quite, story-heavy, and, story-heavy RPGs typically aren't very great on stream. Congrats, I'm so happy I got to make it to this. Oh, thank you, and really, thank you all to everybody who stopped by and supported me today. You sing beautifully. Thank you. And hopefully, I sing better on Friday. So now that we are 30 minutes after I anticipated ending, I thought this was going to be an hour, not an hour and a half. So we're 30 minutes over, but that's okay. It's fine. I think we all had fun. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. Hopefully, I will see you all during my Duck Detective stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. CST. Oh, thank you all so much for being here. And for now, let's consider this case closed. Thank you all, everyone. Thank you, thank you.